Hey guys, it is Shan Crawford here, back with another video, life and transformation coach and life coach that works with Lupus. So today I want to talk to you guys about creating your own path after lupus. For some of you guys that may not know me, it is very important to me and it is my mission to help as many lupis as possible to craft a new life path that complements their passions and their dreams as well as accommodates their lupus. So that's what I want to talk about today. That's what I help my clients to do. But this is something that you also can do for yourself with using some of the good tools and tips that I'm going to go over in today's video. So stick around and we'll talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to share a little bit about my own personal story. I'm not going to go really deep into detail. I don't want this to be a super long video. But I will say that I definitely would have considered myself to be an overachiever. Before I was diagnosed with lupus, I was a fitness coach. I had ran a couple of businesses before, but never full time, so just really like side hustles. And I was working full time in the mental health field. And when I was diagnosed with lupus, I definitely had to start decreasing my hours. I couldn't work as much, and I know that's something that we're really, most of us are familiar with. And if we don't decrease our work hours, we can definitely feel the toll that takes on our body more so than the average person, just because a lupus affects everybody in different ways. For me, I deal with an extreme amount of fatigue. So in order for me to cope and to function and to go to work, basically I had to drink energy drinks to keep me going every single day. And then that was starting to affect my heart health, because that's not healthy for your heart to be jump started like that and to be on high alert all the time and to be sped up like that throughout the day every day. So I had to do something different. And I decided, I was also on a spiritual journey, so I was morphing into life coaching, and I started to do it on the side. But I fell in love with it, and I decided that I wanted to pivot my career from working full-time in mental health to working full-time as a life coach. And that pivot that I made, I decided that I wanted to create a path that would make it possible for me to do life coaching full time, but also take into consideration the challenges that I have with lupus and the fatigue, knowing that I would need a flexible schedule and need to give myself time to rest so I can recuperate from doing lots of work, or I can rest before a big event. That I wanted to create a business that would allow me to travel, to take a week out or a month out and at a time if I wanted to. And I did everything in my power to research and to take classes, to take courses, to invest in myself, to invest in resources and tools to figure out how to do that for myself. And now I'm able to freely work when I want to work, rest when I need to rest, travel when I want to travel. I work from home, I work online. So it's made it possible for me to live out my dream and to really dive into my passion while I'm also accommodating my needs for lupus. And that's what I want you to be able to do for yourself. Now, everyone doesn't have to be or want to be an entrepreneur like I am. Actually, I would even consider myself an entrepreneur. It would be like more of a solopreneur because I don't have anyone that's working for me. I do everything on my own. Maybe one day I'll get to a point where I have people working for me or working with me that helps me out. But for right now, I can handle things on my own. And like I said, my schedule is flexible. I'm making more money than I have when I was working full time. And I'm able to rest and travel and do the things that I want to do, because with those rest periods, now when I have like a commitment, you know how it goes when you try to commit to something way ahead of time and you don't know how you're going to feel before the event happens, and so your lupus might start acting up. But now that I know this about myself, that I really need a lot of rest, that I need to like cater to my body and serve my body a bit in order to get it to a healthier place, or at least a place where it's functioning better, that if I know something ahead of time, I can like take 3 days or something before the event and just like use it to rest, so that I can make sure that I have like good or at least functioning immune system at the time of the event, so that I can try to make it happen. And it's worked, for the most part. There have been some things that might like I might not have been able to help. Like I think last Christmas, I was doing Christmas shopping and stuff, and I was supposed to spend time at my aunt's house, and my cousin came to visit from another state, and I would have loved to see her, but I guess the Christmas shopping took me out, so I really couldn't make the event. So I missed out on seeing my cousin when she was in town, and it really sucked. And I missed out on spending Christmas with my family members, and it really sucked. But like I said, for the most part, that really helps with my lupus. And that's what I mean about creating your own path that incorporates your accommodations and your needs for lupus, in order for you to do what you need to do to function and keep yourself going for the things that you want to do, right? So when it comes to thinking about creating your own path, I want you to really take time to reflect on things that can help you as opposed to harm you. I know that a lot of people hate like having to ask for help, hate feeling like they're depending on someone, or hate feeling like they might be a burden to others. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm like that. I hate having to ask people to do stuff. I hate having to depend on someone else to do something for me or help me with something. So that's why I created a lifestyle where I can get away with not having to do that for the most part, if that makes sense, right? So you can do that for yourself, but you might have to start off for a temporary amount of time, asking for help and sacrificing that emotion to build something and to build a system that works for you. So in the meantime, it might be uncomfortable, but in the future and for the rest of your life, you can set yourself up to be as independent as you want to be, right? And to need as little help as possible, right? So there's things that you can definitely consider when it comes to asking for help. There could be, I know people have like qualms about asking for like government assistance, but at the same time, like if you were to ask for help in that way, right? Then it could free up a few $100s every month now for you to invest in a business or invest in a stock that could create you more money, right? And now that you're having more money flow into your account without having to work, now you can decrease your work hours. And so even though you hate to have to depend on government assistance to help you, get food stamps or grocery shop, you only have to do it for a short amount of time while you use that tool and that resource to your advantage to create a circumstance that makes it easier for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's what I mean by like creating your own path, using the things that you want to be able to do and having a path that gets you there, that may not have been the way that you saw yourself getting there, that may require some temporary sacrifices, that may require some solutions that aren't so traditional. Maybe a good example of that is that you've always been and lived alone and you don't like living with other people, but having a roommate for a short amount of time, or renting out a guest house or a room or something like that can give you some extra income for a few months. And then during that time, you can be saving that money, and like I said, you can be investing it in something. You could learn a new skill that can create you more money than what you might be doing now. You can get on disability, and then you can really just do whatever you want with the extra income that you've got, if that makes sense. You could invest in passive income, so there's like drop shipping options. That's like buying something for like a manufacturer for like 5 cents and then selling it for like $5, and then just doing that over and over in bulk, and then making excuse me, money off of that process. There's so many different ways that you can create and set up things for your life to be easier, so that you have more time to do the things that you really want to do with your life, that are pertaining to your passion, your certain dreams, if that makes sense. And your dreams, that's like a whole nother video, a whole nother subject, but I do want to just throw quickly in there and emphasize that, you really can modify your dreams. You really can, you can figure out a way to get to the core of what your dream is, and then figure out another way to pursue that dream, if that makes sense. So that you can still live it out, even if it feels like it's not something that has been done before, or is not popular, or is the traditional route of fulfilling that dream. So I'll give you an example. And this is not someone with lupus. It's just a regular example, but I just want you to use it for your imagination and what you're dealing with lupus, right? Okay, so there's this housewife on the Atlanta Housewives franchise. Her name is Candy Burris. She has all these businesses. But something that she's really passionate about is acting. And she's always wanted to really get into it. But she's always had her hand in all these different pots. She's never really been taken seriously as an actor. She's like a songwriter and a singer, so people haven't really given her the chance to prove her acting skills like that. So instead of going on endless auditions and trying to prove to people, I can do this, I can be seen as more than a songwriter, more than a singer, nor more than a business owner, more than an entrepreneur, she decided to make her own plays and star in them and have people come out and see her and what she can do. And now she's nominated for a Tony or something, an Emmy Award, one of those, for the play that she put on. I think there's been several now. And that's something that I mean, she had a dream to go and do acting maybe in her mind, the original dream was to become this movie star, to become this film, big TV screen person, but the dream is acting still. That's the core of what she wanted to do. That is what her passion was. And so instead of taking the traditional route of auditioning, being seen, getting an agent, trying to have people recognize her for big screen stuff, she decided to still do acting, but do it in theater and do it on Broadway. And now, after she has proved to be someone that you can take seriously, now she's on the big screen. Now she's been booking roles in movies and TV shows, and now she's created that opportunity for herself, from getting down to the core of what their dream is, right? So I'll give you another example that's dealing with lupus. Or I'll just say it's dealing with having a disability or a challenge, right? So let's just say that you had a dream of going to the Olympics. You trained all your life for it. You've always been the best at your sport. and you get to the Olympics and you injure yourself and you had to amputate your leg, right? So the person that decided that they still wanted to compete in the Olympics when they had no opportunity to do so, being disabled, decided to, at one point, someone decided to create the Special Olympics. And so they're still being recognized for their ability, their agility, the core of what their passion is, doing the best that they can do, challenging themselves in that sport, showing people that they can be spectacular in whatever their Olympic gift is. Still being able to do that and being taken seriously for it in the Special Olympics as opposed to being in the regular Olympics, since they don't allow anybody that's disabled, if that makes sense. So being able to create a dream for yourself like that at the core of what it is that you desire, you can create a path for yourself toward your dream that may look different than your originally planned path, but will still answer to your desires to pursue that purpose and that passion, if that makes sense. So I just really wanted to get that across today. I really wanted to share that with you today, and I really wanted you to take the time, and I hope that you take the time to reflect on the things that you used to want to do, the things that you still want to do, and consider how you can pivot that, how you can get down to the core of what you really want and what you really desire out of what your dreams and passions were, and figure out if there's a way that you can make it happen for yourself in a different way, on a non-traditional route, right? And how you can possibly work to set up things for your life to make things easier for you so that you can do that thing in the future, even if you have to sacrifice for a short amount of time for now, okay? And if it's something that you can't seem to come up with on your own, that's definitely what I'm here for. I'm here to work with Lupus on that very thing. I help to step by step build out a path that's doable for you to pursue the dreams and the passions that you want for yourself, so that you can live your best life. You can live up to your potential, and you can create a new life path that complements your passions and dreams, as well as accommodates your lupus needs. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can definitely reach out to me. You can comment on this video, or you can DM me. I can be reached at on all platforms at Beauty of Growth. But if I don't hear from you, I appreciate you being here, for you sticking around for the whole video, for you listening, and I hope that you were able to get some value out of today's video. And if so, I hope to see you in another one. But until next time, I'm signing off. It's Shan Crawford, your life transformation coach and life coach that works with Lupus. Have a good one.